Hey guys, and welcome back to Professor Layton and Pandora's box. We're into the game proper now, and we're aboard the luxurious Molentary Express. Like we mentioned last time, all the great mysteries take place aboard trains and whatnot, enclosed spaces, a limited number of people. It is just primed for any number of mysteries, not the least murder mysteries.
Well, of course.
Fortunately, we won't be dealing with any murder mysteries, so Luke's not in any danger right now. It's all good.
Yes, but Tom, you see, this is where you forget we are dealing with a murder mystery, because Professor Schrader has been murdered, it seems.
Okay, well, a recent murder mystery then.
Well, no, but Professor Schrader just died.
An even more recent murder mystery then.
Yes, nobody's died on the train yet, so there's no murderer here.
Alright, puzzle 005. This isn't really one I can ask either of you to solve, because it's just basically you gotta, like, stack stuff correctly.
Well, I am a Tetris master, I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure I would be able to do this.
Well, in the meantime, you can just watch me as I do everything perfectly. This is not representative of how I usually solve these puzzles. This is FAQ Central, baby.
Also, because, so, you see, the thing with this particular puzzle is that nothing can overlap, which is fine, but when you're trying to explain where things are located, it gets a little bit difficult. And I think, how many times do we have to retake that puzzle because of either you cocking up or me cocking up? Was it like 3 or 4?
Yeah, it was beyond 2, let's just say, though.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
I'm just glad he didn't have, like, an 8-ball with him, so you didn't have to say 8-ball in corner pocket.
Ah, there you go. Well, that would have kind of given the game away, really.
That's true, yeah.
Everything's spick and span, ready to do some train exploration.
Now we're gonna poke around the cabins and get into their suitcases and remove all their stuff, so they have to solve the puzzle now.
Oh, we're not ready to leave the cabin just yet. We gotta deal with ants.
I'm sorry, guys. Don't we have, like, priorities at the moment? Oh, no, the sugar has answered it. Yes, well, my friend just got killed, Luke. You want to take care of that first?
Well, the train's not gonna move any faster whether or not we solve this puzzle, so we may as well.
Just go up front. Move it!
Why aren't we moving faster?
When I'm kicking you, that means hurry up.
Alright, Richie, how's this one play out?
You have got to do the longest path possible between the two ants, which means a lot of going in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Obviously, you can't go back on yourself. Can't use the same path at any point, so it can be a little bit finicky, but it's not too difficult to figure out in the long run.
That's how my mind solves stuff going from A to B. It takes the longest path possible.
Wasn't that ant drunk if he took, like, the longest path possible? You know, like, straight line, this shouldn't be hard. Hey, everybody!
Well, ants are odd. You know, they can lift, like, I don't know the precise number, but they can lift far heavier things than what they weigh, like stones and whatnot, so who's to say how their minds operate? They probably hit a brick wall and just climb over it.
I mean, the thing with ants is that they follow, I think it's pheromones. Basically, they follow smell as the line, and they follow the line religiously, pretty much.
I mean, you know, if you ever watched A Bug's Life, when a fucking leaf or a twig lands in the way, they have to be ushered round the twig or whatever.
Yeah. Where's the line? Where's the line? Ah!
And here's the line again. Kinda sad we didn't get to work that into the second HFC Disney-thon. Maybe for Act 3, I don't know. Although it already was in the Disney-thon, so to speak. It was in the Proto-thon, which was roughly about 9 or 10 movies or so.
Well, yes, but you see, here's the thing. You need the person who really, really likes A Bug's Life and has massive nostalgia for it in such a commentary.
Ah, yes, so Helldragon, then.
Ah, yes. I was such a fan of that movie, I think. No, I like that movie. It's just been so long since I've seen it.
It gets shot on a lot, does A Bug's Life. I don't know, maybe people are, like, unfavourably comparing it to Ants, but Ants was, at the best of times.
The thing that A Bug's Life suffered, and obviously this is a massive tangent, but we're on a train, we're going to be stuck here for ages, is that it's not quite as good as Toy Story and the like. So it ends up dipping down in terms of Pixar's quality, but then since then, they've done far worse films than A Bug's Life, and yet somehow it's still sort of in the ether of people's likes and dislikes. It's one of probably the ones that gets forgotten the most, really.
Okay, moving on.
We're going to your granny's as well.
Yes. Going to go say hello to old Grandma, ask if she's got any puzzles.
Hopefully, we know her because, you see, we do know a granny, but it's difficult. We've not seen her in a little bit, so it'd be nice to catch up,
Alright, dealing with a strip of paper now. This one's got to be piss easy, because it's only worth 10 picker-outs, but it involves numbers, so I'm shit out of luck.
Hold on, I'm trying to postulate the answer here. I think the middle is 1 centimeter? Centimeter, I'm sorry.
There you go. No, it was 10!
Well, I meant 1, 0. The 0 was silent point. You know what I mean.
You're so full of shit, mate. So full of shit.
You buying it?
Huh. Wonderful.
This is like geometry or something. I don't know. Some talent that I don't have, obviously.
Well, at the end of the day, it's mathematics. And quite a lot of the Layton puzzles do require a reasonable understanding of mathematics.
It's like on the, the box art for the original Pokemon games. I'm not entirely sure if they still do this, because I only usually glance over them. It's like, to best enjoy this game, you need a rudimentary grasp of the English language.
Fuck! I knew there was gonna be a problem.
Man, if only I knew what these squiggles were saying!
They do actually still say that. I'm just looking at my copy of Pokemon Sun, and it says, basic reading ability is one of the software languages is needed to fully enjoy this software.
Well-heeled, don't you mean well-fed?
Yeah, something like that. But he is a gentleman, after all. He would not stoop to such lows. Me, however, I am for all that.
These were pretty hard to find, these hint coins in the halls. You gotta be really precise, lest you accidentally click on something and Luke gives you a bit of flavour text that you didn't ask for.
Well, you see, that's the entire problem, because it's just like, if I could show Tom a picture and go, here, here, and here, this would be so easy. But we can't, because that would mess up recording stuff. So it's just like, right, so it's in the corner of the panel next to the door, the first door, not the second door. It's sort of there. It gets really, really pernickety in trying to figure them out.
My head hurts and we're not currently recording any footage.
I know. You see, it's because you're thinking back to all the times we've had to go back over something, because it's just like, nope, that did not go well. And we've still got more to go.
Alright, A or B, Helldragon?
Oh shit, B, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Now, something that I find actually quite funny is, so in the UK version, this is a picture of vinegar. In the American version, it's a picture of poison.
What?
Yeah, because they just had to be dark.
What kind of fucking corrupt judge is like, and now you'll drink the poison?
This will go great on my chips, said the English version of said puzzle.
Yeah, sour cream and poison chips. Sounds awesome.
Mm.
You ever just wander inside somebody's cabinet and look at their picture all real weird? Or is that just me?
And you know what really fucked me up? Is when we were trying to find that puzzle, and Richie said, click on the picture, and you know what I clicked on instead? Thing on the wall, that's right.
Yes, the picture.
Yeah, that's Picture versus Pitcher. And wow, this is a packed dining car.
I know. I mean, to be fair, I don't think anybody in the UK really uses the term picture. We generally use jug. But then again, I suppose this is a posh train, so they probably would use the term pitcher. Although they might be even posh and use decanters for things.
Ooh, there you go.
Although that's generally only wine, so,
Oh, wait, we got another puzzle. I will regale you in a moment. I gotta see what this is about.
No, it's just one of those mashing puzzles, don't worry about it.
Alright, this still makes me pine to... I've never been on a train, and I've always kind of wanted to be on one. I don't know if any run around here. I would imagine in the UK, since it's always so foggy, they have to use their trains to get everywhere. Other than that, I would like to join one sometime, so maybe a birthday present, we'll see.
I'm not buying you a fucking train, mate. You'll make do with Pokemon Sun, alright?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you got the YouTube money, and I thought that makes everybody rich. I mean, that's why everybody does it, right?
Well, at least we've proved our gentlemanliness, so now the valet won't tell us to get out?
waiter, probably.
Okay. What's the difference between a valet and a waiter?
How much you make?
Probably, among other things.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
A valet does, like, cars, right? You know, he, like, parks cars and shit like that. He greets people who come into a hotel or whatever.
So, a valet is he's basically sort of more of a butlery type thing. So basically they're personal attendants to their employer.
Yeah.
So, in the United States, it's most commonly referred to... Well, the term valet most commonly refers to parking valets. But yeah, so you mostly get them at hotels and car parks and that sort of stuff. You're more waitlers and butlers for restaurants, although it's pretty much, it's waiters these days.
Gotcha. I really hate that woman. She's a bit of a bitch, and I feel no qualms about dubbing her one.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you on that label there, my friend.
Yes, your table shall be on the roof. I hope you like open-air dining.
Man, you know, I hate eating outside, just as a side note. Like, they'll have, like, outer areas that are like, you just go outside near the restaurant and you eat. But it's like, I never really like it. I don't like the wind, I don't like the bugs. Sometimes they have screens, but most of the time they don't. So that just kind of bugs me in general.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to go outside anyway. Look at her there. So smug.
You fat piece of shit! Ladies always go first. What, both of you?
Helldragon, you need to learn how to be a gentleman in these situations. Like
That'll be the day.
Yeah, that'll be the day. Hey, American Layton is pissed off, alright? He wants his fucking seat.
Yeah, American Lane has normal eyes, just really, really, like, in your face. Intense.
Yeah, who needs a table? We'll just sit in the kitchen.
Yeah, why wait for food to come to you when you can go to the food?
Well, I know, although I have to say, I do worry about the state of this train security, because really we should not have been able to make it into the kitchen. But then again, it was probably for the best, because we're going to get a quite fun mini-game out of it.
Ah, yes.
Meanwhile, Gordon Ramsay's in the back, he's shouting at everybody, "You donkey, why did you put this here?"
It's fucking frozen!
I've watched some of those, like, not just like the Amy's Baking Company one, which is infamous at this point, but the lengths he go, like, I respect that, you know, he's all about quality, but this man will go ape shit on your ass. If you have anything frozen, or, like, God forbid, you buy anything, like, once from, like, a Walmart, or something like that. Like, he goes nuts.
I mean, to be fair, I think he's much harsher on the American TV versions of the shows that he does than he ever was in the UK. But I have to say my favourite one that his insult is probably, "What are you? You're an idiot sandwich."
And then he puts the bread on their face. Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, you're such a backer bagel, that's what you are. So yeah, there's probably a few health code violations going on in here, but he's a really kawaii sort of pet, so there you go.
Oh, I'm sure that excuses all of the germs.
Layton can't even bring himself to call the, what is it, a hamster? Yeah, it's a hamster. He can't even call the hamster fair.
Well, you see, because it's rude, and, like, we need to call him, perhaps we should say horizontally challenged.
You gonna give him a name for both of the hamsters?
Oh, are we ever, Helldragon? Are we ever?
Oh, yes.
Man, I would like to grow fat of fucking luxurious kitchen, like first class, like dining car scraps. That'd be amazing.
I mean, that would indeed be lovely.
Is this like Ratatouille's like fat ass cousin or something like that?
I like Ratatouille, since we're talking about Pixar a lot in this part.
It's alright.
I haven't really seen it, but I hear it's, you know, decent at least.
Movie night.
Yeah, no idea when that's gonna happen.
Okay, so we're going to take the hamster along with us and I guess whip him into shape.
Well, you see, because we always need an animal in the Layton games, because we need to make use of Luke's ability to speak to animals.
Yes, yes.
So, obviously, in the last game, we had the robot dog.
Ah, an animal and not a machine. Go on.
Yes, and yes, this time we have a hamster.
So let's name the hamster, shall we? But first, a tutorial. Yes, that is indeed the button you have to press to activate hamster.
Activate target hamster. Deploy.
Okay, I'll give him the apple. I'll give him the apple good.
Good comeback there, Tom.
Not the best.
You see, you need to give him that apple because it makes him look like even more of an asshole. That Cinema Sins joke just sort of went like a lead balloon, didn't it?
Oh god, the train, it's come off the tracks! Alright, let's name this sucker. We did flame in the last game, so now...
Yeah. You know what? I'm not even mad, because I do not weigh what I used to weigh anymore, and I'm quite fit, and I'm quite happy with my new shape now, so you know what? That's alright.
No, that was the point, that's why we named him, because we're whipping him into shape, in honour of you.
Yeah. As you know, I am squeaky, and I barely make any sense.
I thought it was odd whenever I saw pictures of you, you were like 2 feet high, and squeaked a lot. Covered in fur as well. I gotta say, your workout's done wonders for your physique.
Hey, thank you, I appreciate it. No, like, legit, I appreciate it. It's like, it's really helped out.
Good stuff. Alright, get a few hint coins and then we shall be on our way.
Can't we put, like, the lady inside of the minigame and work her ass off, too, now that I think about it?
Unfortunately not. We can only work on the hamster.
Aww.
We're not miracle workers, you're right, Richie.
We are going to give THD quite the workout over the course of the game. And he's going to get incredibly fit.
You know, lifting weights is the best way I found to get into shape. And yoga, too. Like, I did that DDP yoga shit. That stuff's good, by the way. This isn't, like, a plug. I legit like that stuff.
No, it's more... We're going to be giving him more running challenges than anything.
Alright, come on, let's get to the puzzle. We know you're bored.
You're waiting for your tea set, aren't you, Tom? Like, you are.
Yes, I'm waiting for the bloody tea set!
Yes, and we're going to be waiting for the tea set for a horrific amount of time.
Oh, come on, chapter 2.
Alright, let's see. Oh, it's the Tower of Hanoi puzzles. Okay, we can't really sort of solve it.
Yeah, these are kind of hard to solve in post, as it were.
There's something that I noticed with Pandora's Box, and it starts from Pandora's Box, is that they started using a lot more of these types of moving puzzles, which do get a little bit ridiculous. I mean, there end up being, I think, quite a few sliding puzzles as well. And it wasn't until after Lost Future that they kind of ditched them. And I was so glad when they ditched the sliding puzzles, because they drove me nuts.
Not a fan of them.
No! And also, like, especially in recording, they're just a nightmare to do. Because it's just like, block blah, to space blah. Move that one there. Move this one space down, not that far. It's just so pernickety.
No, slide up, stupid.
There you go.
Thank you, Sally. In a way, you and I are now kindred spirits. I too know the horrors of a job.
Well, I mean, also a job dealing with the general public.
Oh, yeah, you mean what I do?
Yeah.
Where do you work again?
I work at a Goodwill, actually. Just stunned to silence, aren't you guys? Yeah, I'd be stunned too.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is that, like, as much as the general public can be really lovely, and they're great, sometimes you get the people who are just so annoying, or who just don't listen to you, and you're just like, I'm trying to help you out, please stop yelling at me.
Who are you describing here exactly? Because it's starting to ring a few
think
bells.
it's me.
I think that fucking bar or pole on the right is phasing out of existence.
Oh my god, it's doing like a flash step. Yeah, it's very anime over there.
No, it's just meant to simulate the illusion of movement. Don't worry, once we get back to gameplay, after this puzzle of course, we shall see the train is moving.
Okay, again, this one's kind of hard to solve, so...
This one was a bitch and a half to, like, have Richie dictate to me. Quite a few takes on this one. And it's I believe it's a mandatory puzzle one?
Yes, this is pretty mandatory, so you do have to solve it. It's not a difficult puzzle necessarily to solve, it's just one of those, make sure that you've got all the different types of trees in the slot, but it can be difficult to describe. The thing that I do really like that they fixed in the puzzle screen for Pandora's Box is that they introduced the memo feature. Because in the original, in Curious Village, you were able to scribble over the top of the puzzles, but that wasn't really too helpful when you had puzzles which were circle this area or trace around this area, and you wanted to be scribbling to try and figure things out, and you couldn't quite do it. So they introduced the memo feature, which brings over like a sheet of paper over the top of your puzzle, and you can use that to kind of dot things and do your math sums and all that. So it was just it was one of the best features that they could have possibly added to the game, because in terms of solving puzzles it's an absolute godsend.
I seem to recall Curious Village having that feature. My memory must just be playing tricks on me.
Yeah, it had a sort of memo feature, but it was only a case of drawing over the top of puzzles rather than having a separate screen that laid itself over the puzzle so you could kind of get rid of it and bring it back, and you had all different types of colour pens and stuff.
I got you.
Yes, we now have internalized the layout of this train, that being a straight line. Good job, guys.
You can go forward or back. Don't go sideways, you may wind up in someone's cabin.
Or off the train in particular. Watch out, it's just Josuke all crumpled up in a piece of paper.
I ain't saying nothing.
Thought we'd gotten rid of the terrible crossover ideas in the prologue.
Ah, well.
Yeah, it's just not happening, is it?
Put garbage into bin. Give me 45 picarats.
Oh, you see, now we begin with the sliding puzzles, and hate sliding puzzles so much.
I have a feeling they kind of maybe wanted to do that just to sort of be like less puzzles where it's like, you only get a limited amount of opportunity to fuck up. Like, it's less ways for you to lose your picarats so easily. But yeah, sliding puzzles can get really, really out of hand super fast, and I'm not a huge fan of them either.
I mean, I think that my main problem with them is that they end up being quite slow and often quite tedious. So you just end up being sat on this screen for longer than you would be otherwise.
Well, at least the puzzle music's as good as ever.
Well, of course, I mean, the music in this game is glorious.
I don't know. Personally, I got my fill of these kind of puzzles with, like, the Windows Entertainment Pack or shit like that. Like, one that immediately comes to mind, this is obviously Sokoban, obviously, but there's also that one game called Rodent's Revenge. I don't know if you guys ever play that.
Possibly by, like, a different name, but go on.
But it's like, you're, like, stuck in, like, this box of, like, cubes, and you're, like, this rodent, obviously, and there are, like, cats roaming around on the outside of the box, and what you have to do is you have to slide the cubes into place to trap the cats and then, like, squish them, underneath the cubes. But if you do it too much, the cats are able to get in and, come kill you, and things like that. That's really what comes to mind when I look at puzzles like these.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Seems a bit of a roundabout way of solving that puzzle. You could have just taken all the blocks out and put the trash directly in the bin, but what do I know?
You could solve a puzzle, or you can go for a more practical, pragmatic solution, which is a puzzle in its own right. So, sometimes you don't need to overthink the problem, is what I'm trying to say.
But you see, that's the entire point of Professor Layton. You have to overthink things, although sometimes, and mostly in Lost Future actually, you get penalised for overthinking things. It's just like, right, let's think outside the box, but it's a case of, well, what is the obvious answer? Is it that obvious? Probably.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to do it than on a train as fine as yours, Mr. Beluga.
What a name.
I know, although I have to say, his name's very ironic, I feel.
How so?
Well, because obviously he's named after a beluga whale, and whales are absolutely bloody massive.
Yeah, you can see when the text box fades out, he's basically hovering in midair. He's very, very small.
Well, clearly he has a mastery of his key. A skill that I think we all kind of try to strive for.
Shut up, Jesus.
But a train enthusiast on the side.
Although his name, is befitting one of his status, beluga caviar and all that.
Well, isn't that something?
Yeah, that's some fine commentary there. Yeah.
You're nicely done, Tom.
Oh my, just look at how late it's gotten.
But there are no watches in here.
He's very antisocial as Mr. Beluga, don't worry, he's got a one-track mind. You didn't offend him, he just hates people in general.
Oh, okay, well that makes me feel better, I think.
And also, to be fair, he's a high-class businessman, so he ain't got time for us people who are cut from a lower cloth.
What class do you think Layton is? Because I don't think he's rich enough to be upper class.
Layton is very much a middle-class man, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
He perhaps had working-class roots, but that would require us going very far into the future games, and we can't really deal with that right now. So, at least in terms of his position, because of his job, because he is a professor at a university, that is the very typicalness of middle class, because it's services, in a way. So, that makes him middle class.
Wouldn't be a playthrough on a very British-centric game without class discussions,
Well, also, we're dealing with Layton, which, although it never actually explicitly deals with class, because it's dealing with a gentleman, and a guy who keeps going on about the fact that he is a gentleman, it is entirely dealing with class. And even though Luke has a very strong Cockney accent, he's also quite middle class as well.
Yeah, I never got that. His accent doesn't really match his status.
No, but that's one of the that's not a problem I feel in my head. I think it's because it's that whole thing to do with sound. Like, while Lanny Manella's version of Luke is probably a little bit more accurate in the fact that it's a posher voice, it doesn't necessarily feel like it fits the character in my mind.
I disagree completely, to be honest.
Yes, this is where we're just going to agree to disagree.
Okay, now I guess I gotta try and solve this. 3.
Oh, you're a master of cocks, you know that.
You're right. I'm pretty good at that.
I mean, I have to say, I think we ended up solving these puzzles quite quickly. I think because we wanted to just whiz through them. We're just like, come on, push it along. Because, as the games progressed, they did actually get longer as they went along. I mean, I'm just gonna get up,
Oh, how long to beat?
how long to beat, because it's a very helpful tool, that website.
I use that when I'm planning, like, LPs and such.
As do I.
Has anyone, like, oh, I'm sorry, the game's talking to us. Hi, how you doing?
Is the house speaking? Is the tree speaking?
This is a fucking stand we're looking at, isn't it?
So, Curious Village sits in at about 12.5 hours on average. Pandora's Box is about 13.5 hours. And then Lost Future is about 15.5 hours.
Ooh.
And then they kind of went a little bit off the grid a little bit, because Last Spectre, or Spectre's Call, leapt back to 12.5 hours. Then Miracle Mask leapt up to 17 hours.
Boy, did it feel it.
I know, and then Azran Legacy leapt back down to 15 hours.
Azran Legacy did it perfectly, I think. It found the right balance.
Yes. Basically, of all of the games, Miracle Mask is the one that's the outlier.
Yeah.
And actually, that makes a whole lot of sense, because so it's the longest of the three of the six. It's got the weakest story of the six, and also it's the only one that's not got a hugely bittersweet ending. Because one of the things that I've always felt with the Layton games is that they've got a very, very good ability of making players incredibly emotionally invested in their narratives, so much so that they're probably going to be in tears by the end of it. Miracle Mask never achieved that.
This is a puzzle all about how Luke's a greedy guts, and Jesus Christ, it's a good job, Layton's a gentleman, and, has a pretty decent salary, because Jesus Christ, 70 quid's worth of food?
Holy shit! He had like a fucking cherry limeade with like whipped cream on top. How do you even... why would you make one of those?
Oh, that's hot cuisine for you, my friend.
I'm more concerned about the fact that Layton paid 70 quid for Luke's meal, because, this place must... Well, it's more that he ate that goddamn much, because, you go out for a meal, and you're just well, you're talking about maybe a tenner, maybe at most 15 quid if you go into a posh place. Not quite the poshest of places, but, a reasonably posh place, for a single main course. So you're probably looking more at 50 quid in total if there's just two of you.
Mm-hmm.
If there's four of you, then it's probably going to leap over 100. But, you see, it varies, but 70 quid on one person is ludicrous.
Which one, HellDragon? Choose now.
Oh no, I hate this cup stacking shit. They tried to sell that, as like a sport. Have you seen that, by the way?
Just pick one, quick.
D.
Correct.
Very well done.
And the reason for that is, HellDragon?
I guessed.
Well, the actual reason is they physically cannot be stacked that way and stay upright.
I mean, that's involved in the answer to the puzzle, because the puzzle was asking which one of these is impossible. And it's that one because, obviously, if you're dealing with cups, they are, obviously, circular at the top.
Yes,
So,
that is
if
how
you're
a cup
trying to
works.
you can't stack them through other cups, basically.
What if they were intangible ghost cups? Have you ever considered that? Do the ghost of cups walk among us, is what I'm trying to say.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't even know. But it was so mysterious, wasn't it? Much like a curious kind of mystery village.
Where's Luke's mouth, by the way? Oh, there it is.
You see, he was hiding it in his hand, just like I'm sort of doing now. I don't know how he quite speaks like it.
Okay. That's going to sound great on the final cut.
It's going to sound wonderful.
Just put like subtitles at that point, so if anybody wanted to
I
know
can
what
make
he's
him
saying.
say anything I want. Alright, let's get into this puzzle. Number 13. On your plate.
You better finish it. I think you could take like 4 and stack them in there.
Let's see.
Yep.
There you go.
It was a Triforce the whole time.
You're doing very well this game so far, HellDragon.
And I'll be honest, I guessed half of this shit, so it must be my lucky day.
Yeah, that's how I solve most of my Layton puzzles, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now we fly.
out of the kitchen we fly, rather than actually flying. I'd be very worried if we were flying at this particular moment in time, because we haven't built a flying machine yet.
Well, in the UK, apparently they have flying cars. At least that's what Harry Potter told me.
So, that's the wizarding community, not the muggle community.
Yeah, the Muggle community, we got to put jets in our cars, I'm sorry.
Well, we do have a flying car, but you see it's only in the world of puppets, because it's Lady Penelope's car from the Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, don't you guys also have a flying nun, or is that us? I think we have the flying nun, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Depends what you mean by flying
Okay,
nun.
let's get off this tangent, shall we? About flying nuns and fucking flying wizard cars, Jesus Christ.
Well, yes, we probably should, because there is a child missing on the train.
Man, you know, considering Chemley's last investigation, I'm really looking forward to see how he's gonna postulate this fucking thing. Oh, well, it turns out that the child was missing because he stuffed himself in the fridge in the back, and I totally didn't take the pie back there. Just throwing that out there. You know, I just imagine, I cannot wait to see this investigative fucking wonder mind.
What the fuck kind of accent was that? Because it sure as shit wasn't Chelmsford's.
I'm making fun of him, I'm not trying to be accurate.
You should not make fun of anyone, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough.
You can make fun of me and that's about it, but only because I'm an easy target.
Can I make fun of her?
Sure, she's also an easy target.
Can I make fun of the other one too?
I guess.
Oh no, Tom, you're missing. What happened? You okay? No, he must have gotten back because he's here doing commentary now, so he must be safe.
It's very true.
This is a post-commentary after all.
You can't imagine how difficult this bit of the game was to record, because obviously I was just like, Tom, where are you? You need to do this, and this, and this, and this, but he just wasn't there to respond. All I could see was just the footage taking place. It was horrifying.
Yeah, it was actually kind of bizarre, but also really convenient, because I didn't have to sit down and physically record it.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, these long parts are gonna get wacky before the game's over, guys, I apologise.
Yes. Tom, this is because you're shoving entire chapters in one part and they last like an hour and a half.
Deal with it. Alright, we have to investigate Tom's disappearance.
Where were you 5 years ago, Tom?
Same place I am now, mate. Same place I am now. You're so right about those pop-up things, by the way, Richard.
Yeah, like, I don't think either of us remembered quite how prevalent they are, but you're just like, yes, game, I know exactly what we're going to do. You just gave me the mystery to say we've got to find Tom. We've just had an entire cutscene about the fact that Tom's gone missing, and then we've got another cutscene right here that's telling us all about the investigation for Tom. And yet it feels the need to say they decided to go investigate Tom's disappearance. It's just like, game, please, you do not need to do this. We are solving these puzzles. We are clever.
If you leave the game for a while and you come back, you can get like a reminder. Like, is there like something you can check to remind you of your current objective? Because that's always a nice feature, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, when you boot up the game again, it'll tell you what happened recently.
Okay, alright.
When you boot up the game, you get previously on Professor Layton and Pandora's box.
Oh, you do? I love those kind of screens. Those are awesome.
Yeah, they're great. But then you also have, I think if you open up your trunk, then there is a little thing in there that says your objective. And also if you go into Layton's journal, that gives you like the last thing that's basically happened. And that's always quite a good indicator of where you need to go next.
So, do they change, like, just the, $sign to $sign for the numbers, for, like, the Western version, or do they change, like, the actual numerical values, themselves?
So in this game, and pretty much all the ones after it, they just change the symbol. So dollar becomes pound, like, kilometers becomes meters or yards or whatever, however they want to do it.
It's not an Ace Attorney style situation where they try to make you believe they're in California or something when they're really in Japan.
Well, to be fair, I mean, if they changed the numbers, they'd have to redo all of the puzzles, so that kind of just saves time. Fair enough.
Exactly.
There are certain regional exclusive puzzles, but we'll point those out as we go along.
Yes, I'm going to have to get the guide up so that I can remind myself which ones those are.
Excuse me, madam, have you seen a small boy around here? Yes, I ate him!
Delicious young flesh. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, I didn't realise they allowed goblins on first-class express trains.
Yeah, well, they have enough money, you know, working at that bank, so...
Jesus Christ.
Oh god, I'm such an asshole to fictional people, I apologize.
Oh, we must enter the shoe maze.
Not as good as the hedge maze, but...
Basically gotta do a little bit of dancing to get to the flagpole over there.
You've basically got to go left, right, left, left, right, left, and you can't change from that at all.
Can you do this to music? Because this is like da 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 da. No, do like fandangos over music. Da 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 da.
I prefer DDR, if you're asking. A little bit of Eurobeat in there.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, my friend.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Perfect. Flawless dancing. All the picarettes.
That's what he's gonna do when he finally picks out a dog.
That
Point.
one.
That one.
Oh, funny you should mention dogs. Well, less said the better right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, Layton would go, the dog I want will be you there. It needs to be that preamble building up to the must be you, and the Ace Attorney point has to be.
I don't consider Layton an arrogant man, and I doubt he would dub himself an arrogant man. But he likes a bit of show business, you know? He likes to give the old razzle-dazzle when solving puzzles.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's quite helpful in a way, because it allows you to pull sleight of hands, in a way, because if everyone's attention's on you, then you control the room. So you are more able to do what you need to do.
Uh-huh.
If that makes any sense.
I get you, man, I get you.
Sammy is a man after my own heart in that when he fucks up something, he immediately passes it off to the first person he meets and gets the fuck out of there, so I respect that.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do we feel about Sammy, Mr. Beluga's nephew? Richie, what's your opinion?
He's alright, he's quite fun. I mean, maybe a little bit annoying, considering and also maybe a little bit out of place, because his sort of 80s glam rock persona doesn't necessarily quite fit the world.
Yeah, and his accent's a little bit out of place as well, unless he's part American.
Yeah, but he's fine, and to be fair, he gets a lot better as we get later into the game, because they do actually develop his character.
Also, his last name is Thunder, which I approve of.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we can't go into the super-duper first-class carriage right now, which I think is discriminatory, or however you pronounce that. I can see, I'm not even, classy enough to pronounce words correctly. I guess that's why they lock plebeians like me outside.
Well, you see, I'm sure it's probably not that fancy. Because, I mean, you look at actual trains in the UK. I mean, I'm sure, trains like this, they probably are really, really fancy. But your standard trains is literally just a bit of a carriage that's maybe got a little bit of extra leg room. Maybe a table. Well, most likely a table at every place.
I'd like tea on demand. That'd be enough to make it first class for me.
I don't think they could put that in a Roku, Tom.
Oh, okay, we got a puzzle.
Better be a rock and rollin' kind of puzzle from our man Sammy Thunder.
Ow! No, it's fucking long division or some shit.
Oh, I ain't guessing this. Go to
It's
hell.
fractions.
Oh, good.
Although, to be fair, it's a pretty easy one to solve.
Says you.
Well, no, it's a very easy one to solve, because there's basically no other answer that you can go with.
Okay, I drew a 6, I just now realise it looks like I'm flipping off the answer.
Here's what I think of you, puzzle.
Train-related puzzles. Perfect. It's thematically consistent and appropriate.
Hey, what if half of a person got off? You never know. Maybe one person is, like, got tied, and he's, like, legs and arms, and they just go off in their own ways.
Or the alternative, someone, had a bit of a door mishap, and, think the train company's getting sued.
Yeah, that's true. That's another possibility.
But then, would that necessarily count as one person having, or half a person having left the train? Because they would cease to be a person at that moment, perhaps.
Oh, jeez. We started with a terrible joke and wound up with a philosophical quandary.
Oh my god. I think Tom is coming apart in pieces as he moves about the ship like he's slowly melting or something.
That wasn't really the response I was waiting for, Luke. I didn't ask. I enjoy puzzles. I didn't ask for one, especially not from you.
Okay, this teacher is pulling shit with her kids. I don't approve of this. I'm gonna have to say that.
You see, you're just not fast enough, Helldragon. You need to get faster.
I'm sorry if it's not Overwatch or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm really can't help you there, my friend.
Yeah, he doesn't care for most things, does THD?
To be fair, if I recall correctly, that's a puzzle that's a little bit difficult to do in terms of maths. You have to do quite a bit of mental acrobatics to solve that one, from what I'm remembering anyway.
Luke is always trying to stump Professor Layton with like a puzzle that even he can't solve, and I think the only one of those that could really stump Layton would be, who's the father?
Professor Layton and the Jerry Springer appearance.
Or Maury, depending on who you go to. I guess, I don't really see him going on Springer. Maury at worst, I think, because that show's a bit more formal, but it's still a lot of parental testing and things like that, so I'm guessing that's where he would go.
Well, no, you see, it would have to be the Jeremy Kyle show,
Oh,
because he
Jesus.
lives in the UK, therefore that is the only option.
That reminds me, I saw that one, what was that show? Catface, where they go on, like, the Jeremy Kyle parody, and he's just, like, that man is just screaming, like, 24/7, I fucking loved it, man. Are the shows really like that? Because this guy sounds hilarious.
Oh, they can get like that. They sure as shit can.
They certainly can. And it's very mean, but they can be absolutely hilarious. Sometimes they're very touching, and sometimes you feel genuinely invested in whether there's a good result or not. But other times you're just like, ah! But it's very much mean. It's that, oh, look at all the poor rough people having terrible lives. This makes me feel better about mine, and it's awful.
Yeah, and this woman's like, my boyfriend calls me a horse during sex, and is like, nay, and she's got really terrible teeth.
I'm sorry, that's mean, but that is kind of funny.
A, B, or C?
B.
Oh, are you correct?
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Carmen Sandiego, I can't help you here.
To be fair, that one is really difficult to actually see properly.
Why, are you partially blind or something?
Well, no, it's just because they don't... Like, they all they do look very similar. I remember, like, looking at it and thinking, I literally cannot see anything between the three that looks out of place to say that's wrong. But, we solved it. It's all good.
Very familiar looking girl here.
He takes a moment to piece together what he should have realized.
I guess it was nothing.
Yeah, you know.
Absolutely nothing. It's totally no one that we would recognise at all, really, is it?
Definitely not a incorrectly handled character, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have never seen that dog before. I don't know where they came from.
I could go for a scrumptious snack right about now with these long, long parts.
How about some tea, Tom? I know you're looking forward to that. You know, I just realized, that reminds me, when we were doing Superstar Saga, you really loved making that coffee, so it seems like you're ingrained to mix liquids together. Maybe your true calling is a chemist, to just mix stupid shit together all day. It's possible.
Maybe, but I wouldn't really advise drinking the stuff that chemists make, unless it's, mouthwash.
Or gives you superpowers, or the Jekyll and Hyde formula. That one, maybe. Think about that one. That could cause problems. But if superpowers as a result, maybe worth the shot.
Yeah, worth the risk.
Probably better off being a barrister at that point, because then you get to make tea and coffee.
Don't you need, like, a license to be a barrister? Like, I guess you're talking about, like, the Starbucks. I'm thinking of a bartender, because I know you have to have a license to be a bartender, at least
well, yes,
here
to be a
in America.
bartender, because of alcohol selling licenses.
Oh, are you saying like a barista?
Yeah, I'm saying it horrendously wrong. I don't even care.
Yeah,
at this
because a
point.
barrister is something legal related, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I actually think it's also a piece of furniture.
No, that's a banister.
Oh, glorious. Hello, Granny Riddleton. Nice to see you again.
It's so lovely seeing her after all this time.
Funky little shack.
Funky little shack. Yes, of course. We love the callbacks here at HFC. Unfortunately, though, Granny Riddleton will not have many visitors to her puzzle shack, because on this playthrough, no puzzle gets left behind.
That's very brave of you, Tom.
Well, it's because the puzzles are our Ohana, and Ohana means family. And family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
We know what it means.
She's gonna give us another tutorial again, isn't she? For some reason, she pulls this weird, I've never seen you before kind of shit. Although, admittedly, knowing what we know about Curious Village, it's possible the granny there was also a robot. So, yeah.
Well, actually, you say that. It's more Granny Riddleton sort of a witch, in a way, I suppose. Because she can be wherever the hell she likes, it seems.
Yeah, and her paper thin disguises in the prequel games were a bit stupid, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, this disguise right here, totally not the Dark Magician girl. I saw through it,
Oh,
like, at the very
wow,
beginning.
boner destroyed, thanks for that.
No, do not look inside her house. It'll probably take your soul.
Tee-hee, look inside.
Oh, well, what a great shack you have, Granny.
That was worth the trip.
There's nothing in there. Check your pockets. It's the Philosopher's Stone. That's how that got in there.
So yeah, we're still just bopping about looking for this Tom character. I could have looked in a mirror and told you where he was, but different Tom, different time, different place.
Yeah, but it's fine because we need to speak to Steve, or as I believe he's called in the American version, Hank.
Man, Josuke's really let himself go.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's gotten fat and he has shit hair.
Clearly, it's that one guy from Shaman King, who I can't remember the name of.
Fucking Ryo, or Ryu. Okay, in Japan he's known as Ryu because he has a dragon theme, and the 4Kids dub he's known as Ryo. I think he has a second title name, I don't know. I freaking love that guy because I actually really like Shaman King a lot.
Yeah, so Ryunosuke Umemiya, also known as Wooden Sword Ryu.
Wooden Sword Ryu, that was his fucking name.
Okay, we have to, yeah, there you go, there's the answer.
That, right there.
This should do
What's the point of that puzzle again? Sorry, I blacked out for a second.
So basically it was which animal is going to make it out of the zoo, because all the cages are opened up, and your answer is the lion, because the giraffe, the tiger, and the other things are all going to get hit at dead ends. the rabbit and the lion are the only ones that are going to be able to get to the exit, but on the way there, the rabbit's going to run into the lion, and as you know, the lion's probably going to be the rabbit, so the lion's the only one that's going to make it out.
That's probably why they changed the ending to Zootopia, gonna be honest.
I'm fixing to say, I'm like, did that happen in that movie?
No, thankfully, no.
Well, no, you see, you're probably better off referring to Madagascar.
Yeah, true.
Because that's the one with lions and zoos.
Or, the wild.
Yeah, I remember when, like, the wild just, like, slipped out of nowhere and it kind of ran up against Madagascar and then everybody just, like, forgot about it. Like, did anybody actually see that movie?
I'm not sure if it's, like, popularity and success. Can we bring up some stats, Rich?
Give me 1 second.
They decide to go and do the thing they were doing.
That's their Maverick screen when you fight them in Mega Man X4.
Uh-huh.
It's a weird one, because obviously it's actually classified as a Disney film. It was obviously done by, I think, Core Feature Animation, but Disney were involved, and it was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures. It earned $102,338,515 on an $80 million budget, but it received generally negative reviews overall.
Ah, okay.
It came out after Madagascar, so obviously critics found it to be heavily derivative of that film, and yeah, I think it didn't end well, and obviously just ended up being completely forgotten.
There you go. So we shall do as the others did and forget about it. Alright, let's see. I'll actually read text here. Yeah, there was a girl who ran past with like a dog or something.
That's true.
Now, I could have sworn I'd seen her somewhere before, but maybe I'm just misremembering things. See, it's been such a long time since we last recorded a Layton game, and we've clearly just been kind of rambling on a bit, so, like, my memory's just, like, all in the hinterlands of nowhere.
See, Luke, this is why you're not a professor. You don't glean the information you should from conversations. You look too heavily at the surface details. That's right. Follow what it says below, Luke. You'll never go wrong.
Man, I just hope that thing is there when he's trying to, like, get a lady. I was like, what do I do, Box? Come on, tell me.
Luke and his date decide to go to third base.
What if the Box was, like, leading him astray deliberately? Luke decides to take his date to the Dairy Queen. I don't want to do that. Luke decides to take his date to the Dairy Queen.
Oh no, turns out she's lactose intolerant, the end. Alright,
I'm trying to do this really fast, but, with these kind of puzzles, you really... Okay, fine.
Crocodile mouth is the answer.
That looks more like the mouth on, like, a Tamagotchi pet,
Yeah, it kind of does.
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
What if that puzzle was armed with a bomb? I'm just gonna throw this out here. Maybe it wants to kill you, Layton. Just saying. The Riddler, not a guy I would trust.
Well, yes, but you see, if you solve the puzzle, you stop the bomb from going off, and then you save everybody's life.
Not all the time. You get the chance to disarm the bomb, is the thing.
Well, to be fair, if it was the Riddler, there would be a good chance that the bomb would be disarmed when you solve a puzzle. Now, if it was the Joker, he would just straight up blow up your ass. Not even fuck with that kind of thing.
It's very true.
Oh, we'll build this camera eventually, one piece at a time.
It's going to be a while yet before the camera gets fully built.
Uh-huh.
Like, we'll be in the final area of the game, actually, by that point.
I hope you put enough pieces in there that you find along the way to make, like, a super cyborg kind of camera that has, like, more enhanced features. It's like building your own PC, but with a camera. This makes sense, right?
Sort of. I mean, I've played Pokemon Moon recently, and the fucking Pokédex takes pictures and talks, so there you go.
I still love the fact that Snap basically turned up in that form in the main games. It's not obviously the same, but it's just like, this is as close as we're going to get for now, so I will wholeheartedly take it.
what I love, and you'll probably see this when we cover Pokemon Sun in January on, is one of the comments, because people, like, I guess NPC characters over the fake internet rate your pictures, and if you take like one by the ocean, one of them will say, with a little shrug emoticon, 7.8 too much water.
Yes, thank you. Memes do in fact exist. So, Chelmy's kind of a shit investigator. I mean, I know we've thrown this card out here to stack the hand, but he immediately jumps to the conclusion, well, I suppose he fell off and died of something. I mean, we're not gonna look, we're not gonna verify anything, just as long as you keep your job, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, Chelmy, that's your game?
Well, to be fair, it's just him and, you know, his underling. He hasn't got an entire squad on the train helping him look.
Yeah, he's only got Barton.
And, well, yeah, he's only got Barton. End of statement. Ah, yes, it seems like a familiar character is watching us.
Or three assholes talking it over on the internet.
Professor Layton and the really meta commentary.
Do they have any horror games where you're stalked on a train, now that I think about it?
I'm sure there's a few out there.
Yeah. I mean, if we delve into Steam, we'd probably be there all day.
Isn't there a sequence in a Resident Evil game where you're on a train? I think it's a slightly shite Resident Evil game, but I'm pretty sure there is one which sees you being attacked by zombies on a train.
Resident Evil 0.
That's the one, yes.
That's 0, and at the end of, 2, you're, taking a train away, and then, the final boss comes in. I know those off the top of my head.
I think we're reaching a conclusion. I don't think Tom is what the inspector believes him to be.
Quite right.
Okay, let's go over the facts here.
See, Tom likes being on the internet, talking over video games, does not match what leads here.
Yeah, wears tiny shoes while doing commentary. Okay, we're on the right track so far.
We are? You're wearing tiny shoes right now?
Just tiny shoes and a tiny cap, that's all.
It's kind of adorable, actually.
Oh, well.
Managed to get into really, really tight spaces, somehow.
Well, that can't be me.
Unless you have the ability to shrink, stand user.
Or, Tom could have an Ant-Man suit. This is not outside the realms of possibility.
Now, you see, the reason I didn't respond to that straight away is because I thought you said Ad-Man, not Ant-Man.
No.
That's the closest thing we've had to a common writer, the Ant-Man suit. I actually really like that suit's design, so if you have one of those, give it my way, man.
It's pretty great. Maybe Tom isn't human after all.
What measure is a non-Tom?
Let's put the pieces together, and I'm...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I
Really?
think you can guess what Tom is already just by this unfinished puzzle.
I know, it's just one of those where you just I mean, yes, probably already figured out what Tom is, but then it's just what is Tom still? And it's just he's a bloody dog.
You might as well have just given me a multiple choice answer at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, really. Something they would do in, Ace Attorney.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think starting from Lost Future, they introduced the roundup puzzle-y type thing.
Oh, yeah, the quizzes, yeah.
But basically, they were just these are the facts, let's solve the mystery, in a way. So you actually physically had to answer questions based on what had happened, and you had to figure it out. And those, I think, were actually much more successful at doing this sort of thing.
Do you guys know what a dog is? Da-da-da-da.
This sure is a sliding puzzle, alright.
Yeah. Although I have to say, is it awful that because of the fact that we grew up in the UK, me and Tom, that I immediately look at this and think, do you know what it is yet? And I'm just no, that is bad. Don't go there.
Oh man, so many childhood icons destroyed by the passage of time and truth. Can't figure out what it is yet. Oh, it's a dog.
Okay, there we go. I was kind of stuck for a minute there. I don't solve puzzles as fast as you guys, especially the sliding ones.
Alright, so, Tom, good work. That's all you get. Because it was fucking obvious.
Indeed.
So yeah, Tom is a dog.
Or a god, if spelled backwards.
It's not quite St. Mystere as a town full of robots and a few fleshies, but,
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of underwhelming in comparison.
it is only the first chapter of the game. The twist shall become more severe.
But you see now everyone, bar me actually, and Mexi have been an animal in this universe. So I suppose that basically means that when we eventually do Lost Future, I'm probably going to be the parrot.
Unless you name him THD again for some reason.
Oh, nah, you've had your time in the sun. Or on the treadmill, I guess would be the more appropriate phrase.
I wish I had a treadmill, but I ain't got the room nor the cash for that. No, I've had to do cardio like a sucker.
Well, you could sell your bed and put a treadmill there, put a little pillow on the end of it, turn it off, boom, makeshift bed and treadmill combo.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Well, I'm not known for my good ideas, I guess. It's a dog, Chalmy. It's a dog. Why aren't you shoving the truth back in his face?
Well, yes, because that would be too easy.
Alright, yeah, we have to actually find the dog first.
The thing is that Chalmy's not going to believe us no matter what we say. And to be fair, he's probably gonna freak Babette the hell out. And while I would quite happily make her suffer because she's a bitch, it's probably not really fair, because I think it potentially, the thought that her dog has, vanished off the train and perished, probably kill her, and I don't really wish that on anybody.
Yeah, as a fellow pet owner, I wouldn't really wish that on anyone either.
After 3,000 years, Pokemon Bank is here at last.
Yeah, another one of the puzzle wardens that we saw throughout Curious Village. You gotta solve this amount of puzzles to make it through, and damn man, this guy needs a nap or a coffin, one of the two.
To be fair, I think he needs a haircut first more than anything.
Yeah, it's just the grey hair that's making him look old, it's not the wrinkles or, anything else.
Well, I mean, that is also making him look old, but, if he was actually able to see, that might improve his visage somewhat.
Didn't we fight this guy in Bloodborne or something? I could have sworn. He throws puzzles at you, you have to dodge real fast. I'm trying to remember. I haven't played that game, so obviously I don't know.
Okay. Alright, let's get down to business and solve this puzzle. We're both top hat wearing men, I'm sure we can come to some kind of agreement.
Do you think when two males with top hats meet, they have to butt their hats together to establish dominance?
Yeah, make sure you grip the bottom of your hat, otherwise it will crumple up. Here we go, Puzzle 012, Clouds and Sky, the Moon, the Stars. How much of the area is sky and how much is cloud? Stalling for time won't help you here.
17.
Alright, let's see if you're right.
Or 12. Or maybe it's 9.
17, 12, or 9. Alright, I'll take all three.
I'm gonna go all the numbers and see where it flies.
No, unfortunately.
Of course it would be 64.
Yeah, I see, it was actually H-A. My handwriting's terrible, I apologise.
Have it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one to try and solve. But yeah, the solution is split it into squares, and then you can get the gist of how many squares are filled with more than the other type of thing, and that's how you solve it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that's really kind of a flimsy puzzle, I think.
Yeah, it's not one of the best. And there certainly are a few dud puzzles in the game.
You know, at first I thought you were kind of like, maybe giving Diabolical Box too much shit in its puzzle department, because I remember them being much more palatable than Curious Villagers, but as we go through this, I'm starting to see the light, as it were. No, Tom, come back!
No, me, get back here. Whoa, hey now, alright, my shoes are not food.
Yes, I had the
Oh,
same
it's that
suspicion.
person we didn't expect it to be, but it was. It's Flora.
So, you just left her on her own in London.
Yeah, she sort of sneaks on because she didn't want to be left alone, and I'm surprised Layton did not catch on to this. Not even getting her like a babysitter or something like that. I don't know, but it's really surprisingly irresponsible for him.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that potentially he probably did get someone to stay and look after her. I mean, he has got a housekeeper.
True.
That's true, yeah. I would imagine the housekeeper would be looking after Flora.
I better be getting paid extra for this shit.
Well, you see, but the housekeeper's lovely, so she'll happily do anything for Professor Layton. But obviously Flora has gotten a little bit more confident in herself, I suppose. So, she obviously, when at the end of Curious Village, she'd been trapped inside her little village for so many years, and obviously she's just begun to come out of her shell a little bit, and so she wants to travel, she wants to see the world, she wants to do stuff. And while obviously they've not done a phenomenal job with Flora's character, I feel that there were the inklings of them getting somewhere eventually with her.
Yeah, that didn't really pan out, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it didn't. Flora ends up being easily the weakest character of the batch, of the main Layton cast. But it's fine because they brought in Emmy for the prequel trilogy, and Emmy was amazing.
Nah.
Helldragon's not a fan of Emmy.
Both of them will eat you. You better watch out.
I'm not happy with being compared to a mongrel, okay? I don't appreciate that.
You are, out of all the mongrels I have met, Tom, you are easily top class. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I wanted to compliment you, being the mongrel that you are.
I also don't appreciate backhanded compliments. Oh, Jesus, can someone shoot her?
She jiggles so much it creates an earthquake. Well, enough of my hissy fit. I'm back to normal now.
Man, we have been on this train for a long time.
Yeah, we've been on it for over an hour.
Oh man, it's either we're stuck on a train for an hour or we're stuck on a boat for like 3 years. None of you guys are gonna get that, I think. So it's only for my manga reading fans out there.
Ah, yes.
Here's a shiny nickel.
Oh, nice. A hamster toy.
Why did you have a hamster toy on you?
Yeah, it's one of those questions you'd like to ask, but I mean, I suppose she has given us a house. I know we can't exactly live in it, but it may be a very expensive house that she's given our hamster.
She's giving us a house. Hop in, Luke. But sir, I can't click.
Hop
I said hop in.
So yeah, that's one mystery solved. Tom was not a child, but rather Babette's pet dog.
Aren't you glad they got space on the mystery screen, by the way?
Well, gotta pad the numbers somehow, I guess.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was a mystery, and it needed solving.
Well, I guess it is a mystery in the same way you could classify, did I leave my drink downstairs? A mystery, you know?
Where are my keys? And then it just shows up in your inventory. Alright.
They were there all along.
No girls allowed. This is like me and the Professor's awesome boy male bonding, exciting trip.
I question where Flora got the money for this train journey.
Huh.
Hey, wasn't she like rich and shit? I mean, I know she left like most of the fortune, but I would imagine she'd had some money somewhere.
Well, no, but they didn't take any of the fortune. That was the point. If they touched a single penny, then all of the robots would have died. So she didn't take a single thing. So it's just like, Flora, where did you get money for this ticket that was surely quite expensive?
Oh, of course, the stock market. Okay, that makes sense.
You'll see a lot of this, Beluga shouting at his nephew.
Hey man, you can't talk that way to Sammy Thunder. I'm gonna be the king of the world. Oh wait, I remember. Wasn't this the guy that died in like that plane and then he came back as a zombie in Darkstalkers? I think that was him.
What the fuck are you talking about? Uncle? You call me Uncle Beluga and nothing but boy?
No, he needs to call him Mr. Beluga because Beluga doesn't really want anybody to know that Sammy's actually his nephew.
Damn, man, that's cold.
No, well, I mean, to be fair, when you're sort of upper-class guy who owns the Molentary Express, why the hell would you want people to know that your nephew is the train's conductor? Because not only does that look slightly suspicious, because it's just like, well, how did he get that job? Clearly it was because of family connection. That's going to get some people's backs up.
Yeah.
But then also, to be fair, do you really want to be associated with someone who he deems to be quite incompetent?
He's Sammy Thunder, man. He's the most jamminest dude this side of the Molentary Express.
There you go. So yeah, what's the problem here exactly, Richie? Why have we stopped?
There's trains broken down on the tracks and we can't go anywhere until the tracks are cleared. So I feel that this is going to be a puzzle. Don't you?
Ah, yes.
Where does this gas go? I need a puzzle.
Okay, Luke, it's time for you to operate heavy machinery and get these things off the tracks. Don't tell your dad!
Hold on, shit, Josuke has to help.
I can't do fucking work, alright, yeah.
We will make this our new home, and we'll build a society around... Oh wait, no, you have a puzzle for this. Never mind. How are you swapping trains? No. Look, Layton is great. I'm not going to deny that, but the man cannot move trains by himself. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, no, you see, what this is it's using the power of magic to move things about.
Okay. Take what I said, add magic to it, and basically make it the same thing. Just saying, not really gonna happen.
So yeah, basically what we have to do there, even ignoring, how it actually gets done, is just move the greens to the greens and the reds to the reds, and we'll be on, our path correctly once again.
This is quite a simple puzzle to deal with. We are going to come across an iteration later on which is more complex, but that generally tends to be the case with quite a few of the Layton puzzles, is they will start you off on a simple variant, and then across the game they will gradually give you ones that are more and more difficult.
And there we have it.
Which, I mean, is always nice because you feel like you're getting to grips with the puzzle type, and you really feel like you begin to master it. But then there are certain puzzles where you're just like, I don't want to master this, please just let me get on with another one that I would prefer to be doing.
Every single maths-related one, got it.
I see, I quite like the maths ones, but it's more the sliders.
Ah.
You're just thrilled, aren't you, Tom? Finally, we get the fucking train moving again.
I've had a tiring day, okay, and train rides relax me.
Fair enough.
Please ignore the fact I'm not actually on a train right now.
Well, to be fair, we're going to come across a sleepy little village, so yes.
Look, just it's not curious and filled with robots. I think we've had enough of that for one game.
You get to see the save screen, hooray!
The 3 alternate universes where this playthrough took place. This train is CGI, I think. Well, it's kind of stretching a little at the end there. I guess it's just the angle of it, but...
This is a fancy-looking train.
It is a very fancy-looking train.
Okay, guys, I believe we're coming up to the end of this chapter now, so we shall see you next time when we peruse the sleepy village of Dropstone and try to find a little bit more about the Elysian box. Bye for now.